Turkey's identity is a complex tapestry, intricately woven with threads from both East and West. This unique nation stands as a profound example of cultural synthesis and enduring conflict. For centuries, its very essence has been shaped by a constant negotiation between diverse cultural forces. This dynamic interplay defines its historical trajectory and contemporary character. Geographically, Turkey occupies a pivotal position, serving as a natural bridge between the continents of Asia and Europe. This strategic location has profoundly influenced its historical development. Consequently, Turkey has long been a historical battleground, not just for armies, but for competing ideas of culture, identity, and power. Its land has witnessed countless transformations. Key struggles have defined this landscape: the ancient clash of Orthodox Christianity versus Islam, the historical tension between Latin and Turkic influences, and the modern dichotomy of secularism versus tradition. Before the arrival of the Turks, the Eastern Roman, or Byzantine Empire profoundly shaped Anatolia. Its enduring legacy laid the foundations for much of the region's cultural heritage. The dominant culture of this era was distinctly Greek Christian. This heritage permeated every aspect of life, from language and law to art and philosophy. Constantinople, the magnificent capital, stood as a formidable bastion of Orthodox Christianity. It was a vibrant center of Greco-Roman influence, radiating power and culture across the empire. Byzantine civilization drew heavily from Roman law, establishing a sophisticated legal framework. It also fostered a rich tradition of Christian art and preserved the intellectual legacy of Hellenistic philosophy. Despite its Christian identity, the Byzantine Empire often experienced significant tensions with Latin, or Western Catholic, Europe. Doctrinal differences and political rivalries frequently strained relations. These internal Christian divisions culminated tragically in the year 1204 sack of Constantinople. Fellow Christians, participants of the Fourth Crusade, brutally plundered the city, weakening the empire irrevocably. This early conflict highlights a crucial point: the struggle was initially within Christianity itself. Two distinct versions of the faith, Orthodox and Catholic, found themselves in profound opposition. The arrival of the Seljuk Turks following the Battle of Manzikert in 1071 marked an irreversible turning point in Anatolian history. This event initiated a profound demographic and cultural shift. With the Seljuks came the introduction and widespread dissemination of Islam across the Anatolian plateau. This new faith gradually transformed the religious landscape of the region. This period witnessed a remarkable cultural transition, characterized by a unique fusion. Persian literature, Islamic theology, and nomadic steppe traditions blended to create a new synthesis. Coexistence and clashes defined this era, as Sufi mysticism encountered Orthodox Christianity. While some communities lived side by side, cultural and religious differences often led to conflict. A gradual but undeniable shift in cultural dominance occurred. The Greek language, once prevalent, slowly gave way to Turkish, and many churches were eventually converted into mosques. This period represented a significant historical moment: East meeting East. The Islamic East, embodied by the Turkic peoples, challenged and ultimately transformed the Christian East of Byzantium. The Ottoman Empire, rising from the ashes of the Seljuks, forged a truly unique cultural blend. It masterfully integrated diverse elements into a cohesive imperial identity. This synthesis included the implementation of Islamic law, which formed the bedrock of its legal system. It also embraced Persian aesthetics, evident in its art, architecture, and courtly traditions. Crucially, the Ottomans incorporated Byzantine architectural elements, particularly in their grand mosques and imperial structures. This fusion created a distinctive Ottoman style. The empire implemented the millet system, a pragmatic approach that granted significant autonomy to various religious communities. This allowed diverse groups to govern their internal affairs. The Ottomans perceived themselves as both successors to the Roman Empire and champions of Islam. This dual identity underscored their imperial ambitions and religious devotion. Istanbul, the former Constantinople, became the ultimate symbol of this fusion. Its iconic skyline, adorned with majestic domes and soaring minarets, showcased the empire's unique architectural synthesis. This era was characterized by profound fusion, continuous adaptation, and expansive growth. The Ottoman approach was not merely replacement but a sophisticated process of integration and evolution. The 19th century Tanzimat reforms initiated a profound period of westernization within the Ottoman Empire. These sweeping changes aimed to modernize the state along European lines. The reforms included the adoption of European-style education systems and legal codes. Efforts were also made to introduce Western dress codes, particularly within the military and bureaucracy. However, these reforms were not without internal resistance. Significant conflicts arose as the traditional clergy and conservative elements within society strongly opposed the changes. This period created a growing division between the westernized elite, who embraced European ideas, and the traditional masses, who largely adhered to established customs and values. European colonialism and the accelerating decline of the Ottoman Empire fueled a deep identity crisis. This existential threat pushed the empire to look westward for models of survival and renewal. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk's revolution in the early 20th century marked an even more radical cultural shift for Turkey. His vision aimed to completely reorient the nation towards the West. He implemented far-reaching reforms, including the adoption of the Latin alphabet and European dress codes. Religious orders were banned, and religious schools were systematically closed. A pivotal reform was the abolition of the caliphate, which effectively ended the Ottoman Islamic identity of the state. Turkey was to become a modern, secular republic. New battles emerged from these radical changes. A strong Turkish nationalism was forged, often at odds with the multi-ethnic Ottoman heritage, while secularism clashed with resurgent Islamism. This period saw the East silenced, as traditional Islamic and Ottoman influences were deliberately suppressed. However, these deep-rooted cultural elements were certainly not forgotten. The Erdogan era has witnessed a significant resurgence of Ottoman nostalgia and Islamic values. This represents a deliberate re-engagement with aspects of Turkey's past that were previously marginalized. Today, Turkey remains deeply divided between its westernized coastal cities and the more conservative Anatolian heartland. This cultural schism continues to shape its political and social landscape. Specific examples highlight this ongoing tension, such as the controversial conversion of Hagia Sophia back into a mosque. Debates over educational curricula also reflect these deep-seated cultural differences. Modern cultural clashes are evident in everyday life. The influence of globalized TikTok culture and popular TV dramas often stands in stark contrast to deeply held traditional family values. Turkey remains a profoundly dynamic and complex nation. It continues to swing like a pendulum, navigating its identity between the continents of Asia and Europe, and between diverse cultural influences. Ultimately, Turkey serves as a powerful mirror, reflecting some of the world's biggest and most enduring cultural conflicts. Its ongoing journey offers invaluable insights into the clash of civilizations. If you're fascinated by how geography shapes identity, and how Turkey became a mirror of the world's biggest cultural conflicts, like, comment, and subscribe the Turkish Odyssey. It's free, it means the world for us and our future programs. Dive deeper with our other videos on the Ottoman Empire, Atatürk's reforms, and Turkey's religious traditions. This is the Turkish Odyssey, where East meets West. Thank you for watching and for your support. See you in the next adventure.